Hello everyone, it's time to clear the creation workshop stages for this fourth Forbidden Battleground. So there's these two stages, one each are designed by a player on the Chinese server, I believe. So this one is War of the Seal, and this is going to be the Princess Clear. And as you can see, I brought Freya along here, SP Freya. And I think SP Freya is pretty necessary for me to be able to beat this properly, because I needed to start off by whipping that stupid Minotaur, so Sonya could be strong enough to, so that it would be weakened enough so that Sonya could kill it. Now, if I had a better Sonya, then maybe I would be able to one-shot it regardless, but I really needed to, I had to go out of my way to enchant Sonya's special weapon, which I didn't have leveled up before, just so she could get that kill. So I don't know how strong Sonya would have to be to get the one-shot there, but probably is a pretty steep requirement. But anyway, I needed to take out the squid on the first turn as well, because if they drag you all over the place, the catapults, you might get pulled into catapult range, and that just screws things up really badly. So I had Chris attacking with her discipline, and then actually brought her 3C to make sure she could kill it. So meanwhile, I've also brought Narm, the ruler's bow. She's going to be very important for locking down certain units later, but for now she's just going to chip at these enemies. As you saw, I actually brought boots on Sophia, and the main reason for this is precisely because, like I said, I don't want to get dragged into a spot where the catapult on the right will aggro me. The group on the right actually does not aggro for the entire map, as long as you stay out of their range. So you can engage them at your leisure. And that's why I'm using boots on Sophia, and it's also why I casted Mass Resist at the start of the map. Because Sophia was going to get pulled, and I didn't want to get Moby down because she would get stuck inside the increased catapult range on the second turn if I had Moby down. So after I take out the Minotaur and the first squid, I just have Freya standing there, and she's just going to be tanking the Lancer plus the catapult. I have Freya with Overlord badge so that she doesn't get a defense down from the catapult, and I also equipped Guardian Infantry on her because for obvious reasons. So Narm locking down the guard of the Lancer here is pretty important so that Sonya can come in for a kill. It should be noted that the Lancer actually has an aura around them that prevents guard, which is a really big pain in the ass. But thankfully Narm can trivialize all that. So as you can see here, Freya didn't guard because of the lower down aura on the Lancer there. You can see I'm checking the attack range of the catapult very often just to make sure I don't accidentally lock into his range, because he does have a very, very large range. So I'm going to try to use Sonya to take out this squid here. So as you saw, I actually did not attack with Chris this turn. That's because I'm still trying my best not to use breezes when I can, because obviously that would make it too RNG based. And not that it matters anymore anyway, because as you see, I've taken out both the squids and all the enemies on the left side. So all there is left to do is to just bait the guys on the right side after I've healed up a little bit. So I think I could get away with using normal Freya on this map, but I would probably need slightly better equipment than I do right now. Do remember that, of course, normal Freya does not have damage reduction in her talent, so and damage reduction in a tank's talent does apply to soldiers, of course. So the big issue there isn't really that Freya would be less tanky; it's that her guardian infantry would be less tanky. These Minotaurs are easily the most scary enemy on this map, so I just need to make sure I stay out of their range. Just kill them as soon as they come in close, so I don't have to deal with actually taking a hit from them. So I'm just flipping these guys. Right. I'm actually gonna shoot him first with Narm because I did bring Amazon Champions on Chris. Because at the start, as you recall, at the start of the map, I needed to kill the squid, and the best troop for that is probably Amazons because Highlanders are too weak, and I was not able to get 3 buffs so that Zealots could be active. So just like the catapults in any other ancient Forbidden Battleground map, these guys just remove a bunch of buffs every time they attack. But as long as Freya doesn't get one shot, it's not a problem. With the home stretch here. Just gonna take out this catapult. All that's left is this Lancer, who should not be a problem since I have a tank with infantry soldiers. And I can pretty much just lock him down forever with Narm. Narm is just so OP in PvE now with her special helm because she can just lock things down forever. It's kind of broken. All right, so that's going to be a princess clear. Surprisingly easy map, despite the fact that it was designed by a player. Usually when games get players to design maps, they are incredibly cruel, but this one is actually pretty fair. So next is going to be the Strategic Masters clear, which is going to be a lot harder. My overall strategy is similar, but it's just going to be harder because my healer here is Zanella, who is obviously a lot worse than Sophia is at healing. And my DPS are a lot less built as well. So I have Lance here. I'm going to run up in faction buff because he has Defense Intimidate, just to lower the guy's defense. I have Egbert cast Fireball here, get some fixed damage down, and then he acts again, get some more fixed damage down, Desiccate. I do want the Silence activation on the top one, so that's a bit of RNG on my part, but since this is at the very beginning of the map, I don't think it's that big a deal. The bottom one I don't need Silence because, as you can see, I just kill him. So Spirit Boots is going to be very important for me here because I want to be able to kill this squid as fast as I can so that it doesn't continue to harass me with Tentacle over and over throughout the map. I need Spirit Boots because I need to be able to attack the squid and then run away, otherwise I will be stuck inside the catapult's range. So I want to bait the left side catapult here, and I can just do that with Egbert's Summon. comes the Meteor. Right, Vargas takes out the last of the squid's HP. So I have to put somebody close to the catapult's range so to make sure that it'll chase the bottom group rather than the top group, because I do want at least one enemy to come to the bottom group so I can kill it. In this case, the catapult. So I'm not as scared of the Minotaur here as I was with the Princess Clear, because Vargas is Vargas. He can take physical hits like crazy. So I brought Rout on Emmerich here, and it's so I can disable this guy and make sure I can attack him for free. My Strategic Masters SR units are unfortunately very, very poorly built. As you can see, Lance doesn't even have a heart bond actually, but that's okay. Like, because he already has enough attack to be able to deal decent damage. So I take out that catapult. Vargas loses his first life here, which is not going to be a problem. Instead of healing up, I decided instead to just start chipping away at this Meteor using Melda. This is where Firebrand snipers are really coming in handy. Just like with the Hellfire archers on Egbert, this is one of those maps where percentage-based fixed damage is allowed, so that is a very powerful effect. And since the Minotaur is at so low HP now, he's really not much of a threat to Vargas anymore. The Lancer that's left over should be very easy for Vargas to tank. Vargas just gonna stab this guy. Just chipping the guy some more. Take him out. Like I said, I'm still trying my best not to take advantage of any breezes I get. As you can see, it was the overall idea behind this clear was very similar to what I had with the Princess team as well. Just like I said on this map, the right side and actually the left side as well, as far as I can tell, both of them do not aggro unless you have somebody in range to attack. At which point, all the enemies of that side will start attacking you. So that allows you to control what kind of pace you want to tackle this map at. The big twist, I guess, was supposed to be the squids and having them dragging all around, but obviously, the key there is to just kill them on the first turn so that you don't have to worry about them anymore. All that's left is taking out this right side. Meteor. Even though Emmerich has class advantage, the stats on these enemies are just so high that oftentimes that's still not enough to be able to safely attack them that well. So I'm still gonna chip them down with whatever fixed damage and range characters I have. I just placed Lance way in the back there just so that the catapult will chase him in a little bit further. And just like with Narm in the last clear, Emmerich, of course, is my guard blocker here. So by placing him next to Lancer, I can just finish off this catapult without much hassle. All that's left is taking out this Lancer. Actually lose another Vargas life here. But doesn't matter, he still has 2 lives. Vargas just never dies. Alright, that's going to be War of the Seal. Not too hard once you figure out how it works. So let's move on to War of Sanctuary. So first I'm going to do the Glory Clear, and honestly, this is actually my first try at this map. I was very confident I was going to be able to beat it in one shot with the Glory team because honestly, like, Glory is just really strong for PvE, even with the SR characters, because of course your 3 starters are technically SR characters. They're all really good in PvE still, and they have Narm, who's really good. Chris was really good, so it's not going to be an issue. Pretty much the only thing of note, I think, here is that I did equip Almeida's exclusive back onto her, which allows me to lock the movement of the Lava Titan at the start here. I also used Narm to lock the movement of the Succubus at the bottom, and then roundabout onto the Actian node, so that she can then lock the guard of the Lava Titan, so everybody else could go dogpile the Sheikah Mage. So I don't have to deal with any of the AoE, annoying AoE aspects of this map. So this map just has a bunch of demon units on it, so Chris is going to be very, very powerful here. And honestly, Chris alone is probably one of the big reasons why this map is so easy with Glory. But I mean, obviously it helps, like I said, that Glory has so many good PvE units, even if you limit yourself to only freebies and stuff. It's just like you have units that are just perfectly tailor-made to a map like this. So Almeida got Reaper touched, so I can't heal right now. These are still pretty much out of range, so it's not really an issue. Meteor is going to barely survive here. This risky enemy phase really wasn't necessary. I'm just playing kind of sloppy here because, like I said, this is actually my first time playing this map. But I was able to clear it anyway. I attack with Narm first here. I try to take out some of the Guardian infantry. But the Malva Titan was still guarding, so that's fun. So as you can see, Chris has no problem beating up these demon units. The Skeleton Knight with the Guardian infantry out front is going to be harder though, because infantry are not demon, as you might know. But regardless, it's actually really easy. I think people who watch this channel regularly already know that Matthew, Almeida, and Chris are all units that I raised a decent amount, are some of my stronger units. So combine that with the fact that Glory is just in general pretty good in PvE, this is really not a big issue. All that's left is taking out all these guys. Succubus likes to prioritize using her skills like most enemies, so she's just wasting a bunch of turns casting useless skills on me. She actually has no skills left up anymore, so I can just sit by and wait for her to come to me. That should be the end of this map. With the glory clear. Chris finish her off. That is her duty to smite demons wherever they might be. Alright, glory clear. Very simple, but why don't we finish this off with something a little bit more interesting. So let's finish this off with the War of Sanctuary clear with the Meteor team. This one was a lot harder to do because, as we've seen in the past, Meteor Strike has really thin choices for SR units. I mean, they kind of have bad choices even if you include SSRs. But if you only have SRs, yeah, that just makes it even more tricky. So I use Narm Sprint to give everybody a attack buff at the start. This is pretty important. I've brought Altina along because she's one of the few magic damage sources, and she can actually do defense down, which is pretty important for me to get a lot of key KOs here. I have also brought Alfred, who aside from just being a decent enough DPS, he also has Templar Knights, which actually work pretty well on this map because there's so many demon units. So, like a lot of these quick clears or aggressive clears, I need to take out as many threats as I can on the first turn. So obviously I took out the Bomb Titan, I stunned the Sheikah Mage, and I just let the bottom Succubus do whatever she wants. The top Succubus, the reason I brought Alfred is because he can put people in water using his exclusive, so that is what he did to get these Succubus stuck in place. Now sometimes the bottom Succubus will cast Decay on turn 1 instead of Reaper's Touch, but that really doesn't matter because all that means is that Kirikaze has to hit the Sheikah Mage, and if he crits, he'll heal back most of his HP, if not all of it. So, not a big deal there. So I did bring Blade of Divine Light on Altina. This is actually a very handy skill here. Not only does it lower defenses, but it stacks with their talent. So as you can see, like I'm just doing quite a bit of damage here, despite the fact that I really shouldn't be. There's no faction buff. There's no, the units are very weak because there's no SR Meteor faction buff, and there's not even that many attack buffs available. So I have a Hydro Bow on Narm pretty much solely because I want her to be able to kill that Long Titan sometime today. Meanwhile, I have Sherry at the bottom here. I'm going to bait the tentacle through the wall. And by doing that, I allow them to be kind of split up in a way so that I can bait the scoop to the bottom where I am. And splitting it up obviously will make the map a lot easier. So, the Necromancer skeleton, despite the fact that he looks like one of those mage skeletons, is actually a long-range unit with one-range soldiers. It's very confusing. He also has 3 range on his AoE spells, so that's something to look out for. Don't get tricked by the threat ranges. Here I put Cube Housing range. And I make sure to not have anybody else within 2 spaces of him, otherwise that Necromancer is going to run over and cast an AoE spell, which might just get someone killed. So I use aim here just to refresh Roundabout on Narm. Get the last chip I can on Lava Titan. I still have an Act Again node here, so I can use Altina to do a decent bit of damage to the squid. Always gotta fight him with magic. So using Storm here, not only to take out the squid, but also heal Sherry back up a bit. So now I'm going to bait the AoE from Necromancer. Let's have Desiccate. Desiccate I'm not scared of because I did put Holy Ring on Altina. If he silences Kirikaze, it's not a big deal. So despite the fact that I put Templar Knights on Alfred, these guys still hit really, really hard. And that Skeleton Knight is pretty good at one-shotting people. As you're going to see here is that Alfred is going to take quite a bit of damage. So as you can see, like one of the annoying things about this map is that the AI just does things that are incomprehensible sometimes. Like right now, I think Necromancer should have chased the bottom group, but it didn't. I just need to back up the top group a little bit more and just put more bait out for Necromancer. Just going to heal Alfred back up so he can take another hit. That's acid burns from Necromancer. It's not a huge deal. I still have Raging Storm, so I can stun this Necromancer and get some free shots in here with my 2 units. All that's left is cleanup. Just gotta take out these guys. Narm can handle the skeleton up top forever. But the bottom one, I'm actually not going to have quite enough firepower to take him out without losing Kirikaze. So I am going to be losing Kirikaze this turn. I can get through this map deathless with this team, but there's some RNG involved. Sometimes I need to get like enough crits so that I can hit certain KOs like this one. Sometimes the enemies just move in ways that just make no sense. But whatever the case, now that nothing but the skeleton is left, there's pretty much no way I can lose since Narn can just lock him down forever or until he dies, which should be very soon. Alright, last hit, gone. So that's going to be the War of Sanctuary clear with Meteor Strike. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you guys next time.